What's happening, saints, people of God? Hallelujah, Baruch Hashem. The great I am, Yahuwah, Eloheinu. Eloheinu means God, the one true living God. Yahuwah, Elohim, the judge of the universe. King of the universe. Anyways, I just want to proclaim the name before you right now. Thankful. Friday. Here to testify of the truth. He makes a way out of no way. I cannot begin to explain how awesome we say he's awesome. He's awesome. But there's something I want to talk about. Identifying the resistance within. That's today's little topic right here. My homeboy, I was explaining to him what fasting was about. And he goes, how come I feel a defensiveness rising up in me as you're talking about this? And then I asked him to explain what he feels when I mention fasting. And everything he said he explained came from the flesh and from the self. So it was not the Spirit's answer pertaining to the discipline thereof. And that's exactly the point of fasting, is to put the flesh at bay and to overcome strongholds of the flesh. And you know, I wasn't even planning on talking about fasting, but now that we're on it, this is super imperative. Almost everyone I know, right? Almost everyone I know needs to fast. And I can prove it. Is there something in your life that you need to overcome? And fasting is how you can overcome. Why? If you do a little study on fasting, you'll see that fasting is about putting the flesh into subjection. Your spirit is promoted at that moment because the flesh is dying off. The flesh is being weakened. So the spirit has the ability to come out. And there's numerous reasons I fast now, because I don't like to get in any kind of I don't like my flesh feeling like it's in charge. I don't like my flesh feeling like it's my flesh is immature and rebellious and annoying. Just period. A lot of what is our self is our flesh. And so the fasting makes the crybaby flesh basically get silenced. It humbles the flesh, you see. So I really personally like being spiritually high myself, and I get super spiritually high every time I fast, and it's just rad. And it makes my spirit glow. It makes me glow. People see it on me or whatever, but you have to do it with the proper motivation. And other things about fasting, you don't want, when you're fasting, you're going to be vulnerable, because of course you're going to be weak, and so, you know, and then you don't want to immediately just go and do like a yo-yo diet type attitude and just kill your fast with a bunch of fast food or something after your fast. I mean, it's like an abrupt like holiness, and then just kill yourself. You know, it's contradicts the whole point. You know, the fasting is supposed to empower you. It helps you renew the mind, but it transforms the mind. The fasting for me um, you get what you put into the Lord. If you're not willing to fast, then you're not willing to be delivered. You're not willing to overcome. You're not willing to pay the price to overcome your problem. We're not entitled to the every last supernatural provision or every last gift or every last, God's looking for people that are hungry to receive his gift, to receive his power. So for instance, you can say, well, do I have to fast to get the power? Well, that's not exactly what I'm saying, but you will fast to overcome things that are holding you back from getting the power. All you have to do to be in the power is to be holy, right? But you can't even be holy if you can't get holy because of certain bondages and addictions. You cannot fast properly if you have addictions. Another reason is because when you're fasting, you're preoccupied with that addiction. Your flesh is like, but I want a cigarette, but I want a cigarette, but I want a cigarette. You know what I'm saying? Silence that joker. You have to overcome. And a lot of us in recovery, we've already overcome a lot of things. So go the extra mile. Let's continue to overcome. You know what I'm saying? You should, if you're somebody that claims Jesus Christ, you should want deliverance. And that resistance within, that defensive-ness that rises up in all of us is immaturity, and it's rebellion, and it's the flesh clinging. If you have a smoking problem, right? And I tell you, you need to quit smoking, and you get mad. It's not necessarily the real you getting mad. It's the addiction and the bondage in you. That part of you that is bound, that is getting mad. The addict is getting mad. And those spirits, those are like demonic spirits that have taken residence in you. Those spirits get super mad if you start pointing out, start exposing them. Hey, you're an alcoholic. Start getting super mad. Hey, defending it. I drink because this is how I deal with how my dad treated me when I was young and blah, blah, blah. Dude, that's not even you. That is, well, it's your addict. It doesn't have to be you is what I'm saying. You do not have to be addicted. This is coming from someone who doesn't work really the NA or AA program. I hold fast to Jesus Christ. Now, I'm not saying don't be part of those programs or whatever, but I'm just saying if you are steadfast in remaining Jesus Christ and being a light to the world and being about the gospel and being about deliverance and being about holiness, and you fasting and you praying and you denying the self to walk with Jesus, you are going to be a bright and shining light. The reason why I demote the programs so much all the time is because the programs are spiritual playpen. That is child's play spirit. And then another reason is because I feel like it's kind of a crutch, meaning that the programs teach you if you do not come to the program, you're not most likely going to stay clean and sober. That makes you dependent on the program for life. Now, that's not what the Bible says. The Bible says to depend solely on Jesus alone. So for me, I got to make Jesus the only way I'm gonna succeed. And so that's why I got the hat and the shirt, and it's regular, and it's on the car. I can't go nowhere without being accountable to the call. I lock myself in the call. The program is 24/7, 365, and his name's Jesus Christ. And so anyways, the topics of deliverance, clean, sober, smoke-free, off the gate, that's the child's play. That's the baby steps. Staying clean, sober, smoke-free is the baby steps. We know we're supposed to do that, right? You know you're not supposed to be defiling the temple with unhealthy stuff. You're not supposed to be unhealthy. If you're unhealthy, you're going to suffer the consequence for being unhealthy. Period. You know it. You do something wrong, you're going to pay a price. Period. But it's about deliverance, overcoming, being healthy, keeping your temple clean so that you can be a conduit for the Holy Spirit, so that you can be empowered by the Holy Spirit, so that you can fast and pray. If you're not even in a position to think of fasting as an awesome weapon against the devil in your life, or in a position to see yourself as overcoming certain aspects of your life, like, oh, one day Jesus will take it, or woo woo woo, you're not really walking on water yet. You're not really a victor. You're not really overcoming yet. You see? And the essence of Christ, and he's overcame death. He walked on water, and we're supposed to do greater things than him. There is no limit to what God can do. How big is your God? You know what I'm saying? How awesome is God? God's turf is the impossible. So the things like quitting cigarettes, you can do that. That doesn't even take God, actually. Of course, it's gotten so bad that some of you need to access God to be able to do it. But really, you alone can do it, because I was talking to homeboy. You go to jail, you just naturally, psychologically don't have a problem not smoking, because you can't get a cigarette. So you see, it's the battlefield of the mind. Then I'm also going to talk about pornography. I'm going to do these little write-ups. I did a write-up yesterday on marijuana. It went over pretty well. I'm not even going to go into that, because the write-up was just off the chain. I've seen people that went from somebody that could easily deny themselves, then smoked weed, and instantly blinders came on them, and they became the most self-absorbed person ever. So that showed me that marijuana feeds the flesh, and the flesh becomes obsessed with what the flesh wants. Me, myself, I'll be high in the house, and somebody could be screaming outside, and I'm too high to even want to check on them. I ignore them. That is like evil, man. Like, how can you be like that? You know what I'm saying? You should naturally be wanting to help people. And if I'm just like, I don't care about nobody because I'm high now, that just shows what marijuana, how it affects, at least how it affected me, in a very negative way. I can't be like Jesus. You know what I'm saying? I can't have love and compassion. I'm just focused on being high. It's all about me. And that, to me, that's one of the worst things about marijuana. It just makes people totally selfish. And it's a selfish act anyway. Drugs are selfish. We know that.